Hey guys, welcome back to this 100% playthrough. Here we are at Moleville. First things first, we need to heal up, so let's take a quick nap. 10 coins, sure I'll spend it. Moleville, as the name implies, is a village full of moles. Being moles, Moleville is a mining town. Almost all the men are miners, and the children are miners too. See what I did there? Also, all the moles seem to speak with American Southern accents. If you were desperate for YouTube content, you could probably make a video about Moleville being racist or something. Maybe I should write that down. But before we head into the mine, let's shop. Moleville has one of the best pieces of equipment in the game, the work pants. We'll buy one extra, tell you why in a second. So here's what makes the work pants so great. They are the only armor in the game that boosts your offensive stats, even if it's only by a small amount. And as you can see, even at this stage, they do boost defense more than what we've had before, so they're not a bad piece of equipment for everybody at this stage of the game. Spoiler alert, our fourth ally that we pick up is Bowser, and his armor tends to give terrible defensive stats. He has naturally high defense, so the game accounts for that by giving him armor with low defense. The work pants give him better defensive stats than just about any armor in the game, barring his final available armor, and even then there's not that big of a difference. But speaking of Bowser, we find that he's still making his way to his keep, but things aren't going well. His troops are afraid of Smithy and are abandoning him. I remember in Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, Bowser tells Cammy that his evil plans always fail because his minions are incompetent. He might have a point. Of course, in true Bowser fashion, he's worried about appearances. Can't let this word get out that he's lost control of his own castle. But now we're on to the plot of this level. The only two kids in town with unique sprites went to go play in the mines, despite their parents telling them not to. I don't know what to tell you guys, the children yearn for the mines. But apparently a star piece crashed into the mountain, causing a cave-in, and trapping the kids inside. We've got to get the star piece, and save the kids, I guess, but that doesn't seem as important. Now these guys are here to tell you what's going on, but you don't really have to listen to them. Sure, I've heard the news. If you say no, they just keep asking you over and over again, please help. Please help. So yeah, the illusion of choice. Jump on their heads. Now, going back to what we had talked about before, about our party members joining at certain levels, our fourth party member, I already told you guys that was Bowser, he joins at level 8, and that's coming up pretty quick here. So we probably want to be at least level 7, probably close to level 8, by the time this level's over. Keep boosting that jump power, getting pretty strong now. The handy thing about what we did last time, where we talked to Gaz and he gave us that finger shot for free, is that's the first available weapon for Gino here in the mines, so we didn't have to buy it. It's kind of nice. Avoiding the evils of capitalism, or something. I don't know. Keep it up, gang. Yeah. I'm not much of a gambler. I always lose. Now this guy, he's perusing the mines looking for secret items. And he does actually find some things. He shows up in the shop later, and you can buy some stuff off of him at different stages in the game, but we'll talk more about that when he actually has something to sell. a fire guy using fire attacks. Daring today, aren't we? Nobody's a match for my team, decked out with pants. Okay, in order to advance the plot here, we have to let the intrusive thoughts win and jump on this trampoline to nowhere. Croco makes another appearance and steals our money, so we have to hunt him down through the mines. There's a part of the mines that's blocked off, and the only way we can get through it is to blow up the blockade, and we can only get a bomb by taking one from our good friend Croco here. So this whole subplot where he steals your coins and you gotta track him down, it's... I don't know, I don't want to say unnecessary, because it's good. It's a good flavor story, I guess. It's more clever than just saying, yeah, you gotta go find a bomb somewhere. But he runs around this circular area of the mines. We don't want to get into a fight with him just yet. His minions are also hiding in the mines. There's 3 of them. And defeating each of them gives us a flower tab. They disappear once you beat Croco, so we want to make sure we beat the 3 of them before we fight Croco. And thanks to the power of our pants, the work pants increase your speed. So now we can outspeed the crooks. Okay, this gives me a chance to talk about Gino. Gino's another one of those characters where I level him up. I just do whichever bonus is highest for Gino, because he has high physical attack and magic attack. So, it's one of those things where he's got merits for both. So I just go with whichever thing boosts him the most. I think I said this during the a couple of videos ago, but Gino is kind of a glass cannon in a game where enemies don't hit that hard, so you boost his offensive stats and you just kind of watch him go. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life. Wait, wrong movie. Yeah, we got kind of a full house here. This is getting a little ridiculous, but don't worry, at the end of this level you'll see what I'm hoarding all of these for. Might as well try to make some space here. Heal. Honey. Don't want Croco to get too far away. This is the 3rd minion fight, so we can fight Croco after this. Nice. Already getting there with level 7. Again, Mario, let's just pick the highest boost. Malo likes having the HP, so we'll do that since that's the highest one. Alright, hurry up through your text box. Let's go fight Croco. There we go. Now here is our rematch with Croco the Quick. His battle is in 2 phases. In this first phase here, he's not too much different from your first encounter, but now we're stronger, and we have 3 allies instead of 2, which is nice. However, once his HP is low enough, we enter phase 2, and that's where he steals your items for the duration of the battle, and he starts hitting harder. So, even though we're not too wounded right now, we still want to kind of top ourselves off with HP, just to make sure that we're not caught with our pants down during that phase 2 where we don't have items. Only 8 damage against Malo. Come on, Croco, you can do better than that. And here we go, here's the phase 2. He steals your items. Now, I pointed this out in another video of mine, but if Croco does that little scene where he steals your items by running into Mallow, and Mallow happens to be dead at the time, Mallow will stand up like a zombie afterward. And since the game skips over his turn if he's dead, and Croco can't target him, he just stays standing there for the rest of the battle. Kind of funny. But here in Phase 2, you can see Croco will throw literally everything at you. The good news is you can time all of your defense against everything he throws at you, in this second phase anyway, so it's not too bad. It's possible to take no damage from him if you're good enough. But yeah, at this point, even at level 7, which is kind of a modest level with our pants, he's really not that bad. And here's where we need that bomb. Pommel can't get through this blockade, so now we gotta blow it up for him. Mario saying, yeah, Pommel, I don't need your help. You don't need to be my 4th party member. We'll go and find the kids without you. Pommel for Smash Bros. There's a fun little Easter egg if you try to go through this door. This shy guy tries to run you over. And you get a frog coin for your trouble. You can repeat that cutscene if you want to, but you only get the frog coin once. There's a star in this chest. Let's see, if this Bob-omb comes closer, we might be able to get him too. Yeah, forget it. This is one of those stars where the enemies to hit are annoyingly spread out. Yeah. They're annoyingly spread out, so it can be hard to get a meaningful amount of them. To quote, I think it was Goombella, Bob-ombs attack by blowing themselves up. Yeah, real smart. We are rolling in money, man. Okay, probably want to fight a few more fights, just to get us close to level 8. We don't have to be at level 8 by the time we fight this boss, but again, I'm just trying to get us close. There's one small area in between Moleville and where we get our 4th party member, who's at level 8, so it's enough to top us off, but we need to be close enough first. And Punchinello doesn't give you any experience. Punchinello being the boss of the mines. And like I always say, gives us more excuses to use more jump specials. Because we still got that in our back pocket that we gotta do. Bob-ombs are weak against jump, which is why we're doing kind of a ridiculous amount of damage to them. Attack this guy before he blows up. Let's let Mario have the last hit on this guy. One more for good measure. Sometimes the Bob-ombs just skip their turns, which is nice. This chest has a flower. So we want to get it before we get the mushroom. Alright, now here's Punchinello's room. These bombs, if you touch them, they act like just any other ordinary bomb battle. Let's see if we can touch one of these little bombs. Yeah, they just kind of push you back when you touch them. It's kind of cute. Punchinello, you have to attack head-on, or not head-on. You have to go around to his back, because if you try to attack him head-on, this happens. He just kind of shoves you. So go around. Punchinello is kind of an interesting guy. Fun fact, Ted Woolsey, this game's translator, wanted to name him James Bomb, but Nintendo said no. Obviously that's supposed to be a reference to James Bond the Spy, hence the way he introduces himself here. You know, the name's Nello, Punchinello, the name's Bond, James Bond. Another fun fact, Punchinello, Bowser, and Smithy are the only boss fights in the game that don't show a results screen with experience earned. Punchinello himself has a whopping 0 experience, but his bombs do have experience values, so you should technically be getting experience for beating them. But the interesting thing is, by virtue of not showing that results screen at the end of the battle, your super jumps are not tracked in this fight. Meaning if you did 100 super jumps on Punchinello, the game would not register that, and you would not get your super suit. Since you can't have super jump when you're fighting Bowser, and when you're fighting Smithy, it's too late to cash in your 100 super jumps, this is the only fight in the game where that is an issue. At different stages of the fight, he summons bombs of different girth. So now we're in the mid-tier bombs. Punchinello is normally immune to jump, but we have the jump shoes on. But it does make me wonder, since they made him immune to jump, I wonder if the developers knew of that issue where the super jumps wouldn't be counted, and being immune to jump is their subtle way of trying to discourage you from using super jumps? But maybe I'm reading too much into it. Alright, we got him down to 1/3 of his health. That's where he summons the big boys, the Mezzo bombs. That's another one of those enemies that can just randomly skip their turns, but they all decided to go. That's fine. You can actually set those bombs off early by using a fire attack on them. Anytime you use a fire attack against them, they are guaranteed to use that self-destruct attack as a counter. Assuming you don't just kill them outright by bringing their HP to 0. But there we go, Punchinello down. Farewell, James Bomb. Gino, egging him on a little bit. Good old King Bomb. This is one of those situations that begs the question, does anybody really die in the Mario universe, ever? Punchinello comes back, at least in the remake, and now we get blown up by this enormous bomb, and we're just kind of fine, covered in a little bit of soot, but that's it. I guess Super Paper Mario answered the question if there's some sort of video game heaven and hell. But how do you actually get there? How does anyone ever die? The star piece cleans us off. Apparently some lesser known power the star pieces have. Or maybe Mario wished to be clean? I really make you think in my videos, I understand. Alright, now that we've rescued the star piece, I guess we need to save the kids too. But they're just chilling in the mines. They don't seem any worse for wear. But here we go, on a minecart ride. I do not need to read the warning. Mario, being the responsible adult he is, decides that rather than walk these kids out of the mine, we'll just stick them in this cart and ride down this track that has absolutely no safety regulations. This is a fun little ride though. It's like Mario Kart, but the only thing you're racing against is your own incompetence. It's a simple little game, but it's fun. You go cruising down this track, you can speed up and slow down with mushrooms. You want to hit the brakes when you're going around corners like that, or you'll fall off. But there are plenty of coins to get along the way. And plus, as the kids say, the song is a jive. The kids say that, right? I never know when to use the mushrooms. I always end up using it right when there's a curve coming. Well, we don't really need to get a high score or anything right now anyway, and I'll tell you why when we're off of this. Or maybe next video, because we're kind of running low on time. All those beautiful coins I'm missing. Pure skill. You guys heard the brake noise. I was robbed on that one. Every time. Although the screen can only show so many mushrooms on it at a time, you can actually hold more than what's shown here. Any extra mushrooms you pick up are kept in reserve. So don't feel like you're limited to the 8 you get here. Making good time. Hey wait, where did the kids go? This is just Mario. Use up all the mushrooms. You can't, it's really hard to do, but you can actually time a jump there if you're using a mushroom, where instead of doing that slow-mo fall thing after you fall off the track, you can just jump and completely miss the track and fall down really fast. I've done it once on accident because I didn't know that was even a thing, but it is a thing. Yeah, I guess it's a good thing that nobody can die in the Mario universe, because those kids definitely would be dead by now. But I appreciate that not only do we destroy the mole's roof, but their mother is mad at the kids for going into the mine, rather than at Mario for, you know, just dropping them like 50 feet into their house. But everybody's alive, so all's well that ends well, I guess. Good job, team. Alright, stepping outside, now we're introduced to Booster's Sniffets. Booster is an eccentric rich guy who lives in a tower so massive it would make Bowser jealous. I'm not sure if the Sniffets are supposed to be of his friends, or if they're like paid yes men, like his posse, his crew. But either way, they are trying to catch a beetle for Booster. It does end up flying away, but spoiler alert, when we get to the top of Booster Tower, you'll see that Booster does have a beetle in a cage as a pet. Booster redemption arc confirmed. But anyway, they spill the beans that Booster has some sort of pink princess from the sky in his tower. So hint hint, guess who that might be? But before we continue on, that's going to be the end of this video here. At the start of the next one, we will do a few more things here in Moleville. There's a couple more things I want to show you. Yeah, but that'll do it for this one. But before you go, just give me 30 seconds to plug myself here. As a lot of you know, I make ROM hacks of this game. I have created a developer blog of sorts, where each week I post about current projects I'm working on, show off some pictures and videos, talk about some of the technical aspects of it, that kind of thing. So if that's interesting to you, please consider checking it out using the Ko-fi link in the description. It's free to view, but if you appreciate my work, you want to say thanks, please consider becoming a monthly member, or even giving me a one-time donation. I'm grateful for anything. But that's it. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.